What's up, guys? Welcome to Talking to Fans, episode 20. This is a Christmas special, so Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day at the time you are probably watching this. I hope it is. So yeah, Merry Christmas to the whole Hayden Nation, all that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do baseball content, podcast, Talking to Fans, where we get fans, we talk about baseball. It's an awesome experience. So today's guest is Baseball All the Time. What is up?
What's going on? Nothing.
Nothing much. We did get some baseball action yesterday with Cody Bellinger signing a one-year, $17 million deal. What is your opinion on that?
I think it's kind of a little bit of a risk deal for both sides. I think bad last year, but we do know that great table. He brings caliber. He's a great fielder. It's a little bit of a risk for both sides, but I think he can get back.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And you're a Mets fan. Y'all picked up all those pieces. Escobar, Scherzer. Who else? You got Starling Marte. You got Mark Canha.
Yesterday, I mean, Khalil saw me 7 home runs for the White Sox in 2018, so he's got something in the tank.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, like, what is your opinion, and what do you think y'all's team can do? Because this NL East is going to be scary next year.
I think it's just a complete culture switch of, being the laughing stock of baseball and just the Wilpons just basically ruining the organization. I think Cohen's taken over. He's just basically saying, spend whatever you want. It's just great that we have Scherzer and a guy who can really bring a really big attitude to a ball club that really, I think, needs it after last year. Big disappointment. A lot of, miscommunication in the clubhouse, and just we need to do something. And I think we did something. We signed a great center fielder, one of the best pitchers on the market. I think Escobar and Canha are really solid too. We're just doing stuff, and that's great. That the Mets are involved. We're playing like a big market New York team.
Yeah, that rotation for one is going to be scary with DeGrom and Scherzer leading it. If DeGrom stays healthy, I think y'all have to make some noise, whether it's a wild card or even winning this NL East, because I know y'all got what it takes.
Yeah, I think it's all just clubhouse, and I think, we've had rookie managers our last since 2018, and that just hasn't been cutting it. And we finally picked up Buck Showalter, who's a guy that knows baseball. He's in the Yankees organization. He knows how to play in a big market, how to manage a team, and I think that's something the Mets have been in dire need for a really long time, because we have Mickey Callaway and Luis Rojas, and Luis Rojas wasn't terrible. He just didn't have that managerial feel to him. He's a great coach, but
I actually got a little story real quick about Mickey Callaway. My dad and him played on the same high school baseball team, so that's sick.
Yeah, that is cool. He's a good pitching coach, but not
a manager. Just not everyone has what it takes to be a manager, and I respect that. And I mean, he'd be great as a pitching coach somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. A manager, they need to just have that feeling in their gut to bring in a guy or pinch hit a guy. And the last 2 guys we didn't have it. I think Buck Showalter does have that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. So let's talk about your account for a minute. You got 1,200 followers on TikTok around there. So who's the creator that kind of inspired you, or do you have a story that kind of made you want to get started with TikTok and everything?
I just started watching TikTok, and I thought it was really cool. And I made some videos, got 5 likes, and I just kept going with it, and I kept getting better. I have almost 2,500 followers, which is really great. And I just do it for fun. I just have fun making videos and posting them, and I just have a lot of fun with it. And if I'm not having fun with the video, I don't post it.
Yeah, it's
so fun. And of course, you're one of them. I mean, 21,000, right?
Yeah, 21,000.3. 20,000.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. A lot. Yeah, I just it's only been over a 9-month span too. I was grinding for 2 months, wasn't really doing much, and then March, the middle of March, I started grinding, and it started paying off at that point where one day I got 250 followers, and it never stopped from there. Y'all know this story.
Yeah, I got one video that had 20K 2K likes, and that really, like, I got like 200 followers in like a day or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like, talk about, like, have you ever been to a Mets game, and what's that crowd like? Like, when it's
the Mets fans are just so great. It's always so loud, and we're always just so passionate. I've been to I would say about 15 ball games. I went to Marlins. I used to live in Florida, actually, so I don't anymore. I live in New York. But I went to a lot of Marlins games and Mets games. I was still a Mets fan down there because my parents are both from New York. So, I was born in Florida. We moved back up here, but I went to a lot of Marlins and Mets games, and those were fun because Marlins fans are pretty annoying when you're on the other side of them, but so are Mets fans. So, that. And always when you go to Citi Field, it's always just loud and obnoxious, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, like the whole like New York atmosphere and like everything in the city is awesome. That's one stadium I want to visit. Like, I'll probably make plans to go down to New York like very soon. Like, once I'm like grown up and continue doing this content, because like this is not going anywhere. It's gonna just get bigger. So I have a lot of like content planned for like years to come, like 10 years to come at the most.
Yeah, I think the state atmosphere is just all about the fans, and the New York Mets fans are so loud and just so fun to be around. Not everybody's high-fiving each other, even if you don't know the person. It's really great. It's really great to be at Citi Field, and it's great to be a Mets fan, especially right now.
Yeah, that's sick. We were just kind of bringing up the Marlins a little bit, which kind of brings me to the next topic. Is the Marlins have a great future ahead of them as well. Like, this East is going to be something not to mess with. You're going to have the Mets, the Marlins, and the Braves in the future. So that's going to be awesome.
Definitely. I mean, this is what we said last year too, and it was the worst division in baseball. But I totally think the Marlins have a very big upside too with Jazz Chisholm. I just think is really going to get off the ground eventually. He's such a flashy player. He's got that Tatis kind of feel, but he's even more flashy, I think, and could potentially even be better. He's a really good player, and the Marlins just have one of the best farm systems in baseball. And I think if they can, stay around and good deals, they can become a contender in the next few years, maybe out.
Yeah, and like those trades with Ozuna, Yelich, even Stanton, like there's another player I know I'm naming off that list, but just all those trades they made, it's changing them. So, like, when you think about it, the Marlins weren't really good with them, like 2016, 2017, even like a year like 2015. Like, it just went downhill, and I feel like they made the best decision they could at the time to go out and get young pieces and rebuild, and now they're about to be very good.
I do agree with you in the level there, but I also think that if the Marlins it was really just the pitching, because once Jose Fernandez died, they kind of gave up on the pitching. I mean, their ace was Dan Straley. The offense needed a little bit of help, but I don't think much. I think if they went out and just got pitching, they could have been okay. But I do think it was a decent idea to rebuild. But I think if they did get pitching, just any pitching at all, they would have been, a lot better of a team, because that offense was really good. You had Degort, Christian Yelich, Stanton, Ozuna, Justin Bohr.
You had Ichiro, too. It's another one.
So if you got a little bit of pitching for that offense, I think they might have went somewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, just assuming this, they had the same offense now and had pitchers like Alcantara and just all those other pitchers on the Marlins, they would probably be very good right now. But, like, that's the what if.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think the offense did help. They needed a third baseman because Martin Prado wasn't going to cut it forever. But, I think they could have been a decent team. That Jake Romito, too. I don't know why we haven't talked about him. If they would have kept him, he became the best catcher in baseball once he left, or definitely up there. There's an argument to be made there. But, I think they were a very good offensive team. And once Jose Fernandez died, just tragically, sorry, there's stuff coming up.
Yeah, that was just a terrible accident when we lost Jose Fernandez, which was a great pitcher of the game, and that's another what if for that team is what if Fernandez was still pitching, because he could do some great stuff because he had a lot left in him.
Okay. Hold on, man.
All right. Yeah, I just want to say Merry Christmas to all y'all, and y'all are a big part of the content and all that stuff. It's just awesome. All right, no, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Marlins, right? Talk about
Yeah, Marlins in that East. Let's move over to the Phillies because I don't think we want to turn this into a whole Marlins podcast. What do you think the Phillies could do, like, for the future?
I don't know, man. The Phillies have an interesting farm system. They have Sam Howard and Howard Bone, who was just horrendous last year. I mean,
Yeah.
watching him play third base was just, it was not it. He could hit, potentially he's got some great power in the opposite field, but that guy does not play third base.
Yeah, no, like, that's going to be a player to watch out to turn around for come next year.
Gotta come back and make an impact. He can hit, but he cannot play first base. Reese Hoskins, he's a good guy. Obviously they have Bryce Harper, the MVP. They have Jay Terabito, and they have Gene Segura, who's I think a bit of an underrated player. He can really spark a team. He's got a little bit of pop, high average guy, good fielder. I think Gene Segura is a really good player that can maybe propel this team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, the Phillies, they just need to figure out, like, their bullpen situation, and they'll be up here, too. Like, this NL East, I keep saying it, it's going to be something not to mess around with. As a Braves fan, I'm excited for the competition because we haven't really gotten that. But now I feel like we're going to get that competition. We're still going to be good, but we're just going to have to battle even more. And, like, to say that after a season like this, it's crazy to have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even the Nationals, they have some scary pieces that are, they're kind of annoying to go up against because they got, the best hitter in baseball, in my opinion, Juan Soto. I think there's just going to be so much competition. There's so many great players around the division, and so many upcoming players, so many prospects. I can name 5 of them off the top of the head, that could just come up and make a great impact for any team in the division. It's going to be a good fight. You have the defending champs. You have the New York Mets, the highest-paying team in baseball. You have the Phillies, who are, can make an impact. The Nationals and the Marlins, who are coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I think MLB just in general is moving at the right direction right now with all these superstars with Guerrero, Acuna, Vladdy pitching for Ohtani. Like, those guys are making a big statement for baseball, and they're moving the game in the right direction. And all of us as content creators, that's what we're trying to do as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think, they're bringing they're making baseball exciting. And, for a while, I think like 2010, it was kind of just bland.
Yeah.
They would just play much, attitude. But, now you have these guys, Acuna, like you just said, just firing up, wearing big chains, popping the chains, running around the bases.
Yeah.
Fun to watch. And it's bringing a lot of attention to baseball. Great.
Yeah, the awesome thing is we have all these creators or players that are creators and creating content. I mean, we were just talking about it earlier. Jazz Chisholm is putting a big effect on it. For us, the Braves, we have Tucker Davidson, who's over there on TikTok making content like every day, and that's awesome.
Yeah, you got a bunch of guys. Starling Marte has a TikTok. A bunch of other guys do. Pete Alonso in there. You kind of. I think it's just open for baseball.
Yeah.
Fun.
Like just have
fun.
Yeah.
Fun sport.
I just gotta have fun. Like, baseball is about fun. Baseball is about, like, it's history, and like, put those two together, it's gonna be a great future.
Absolutely.
And like, speaking of Tucker Davidson, I'm not trying to flex here, but he's noticed me twice in the last week.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It goes to show for anyone, keep grinding and good things can happen.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, I got recognized by you on TikTok, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, just keep grinding, because sooner or later it's going to turn into great success for you, and you're going to have a spot in this game if you don't already. And as small as the baseball community is, like, we all have spots right now, and that's awesome. Like, we're all trying to make it bigger as well.
Yeah.
And like, I'm on board for like baseball to get bigger, and like that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Just gotta get this lockdown figured out, man.
Yeah, like that brings me to the next question: is how do you feel about this lockdown, and what do you think? What do you think's going to happen with it? Like, when do you think a offer is going to happen, and we're going to be like resuming free agency and being able to plan a 2022 season?
Man, tough. I think they're just I think it's like a stalemate now. I don't really know too much about like the inside thing of it, but I do know baseball's locked out, and that sucks because it's this is a big time, But
yeah,
for all those free agents to sign, which is also pretty. But I think they need to figure it out. They need to just get baseball back, bring it back, so we can have 2020 have some fun.
Yeah, I don't mean to talk about like bad topics, but as a Mets fan, when y'all got beat in 2015, like I just want to hear your opinion. I'm sure a lot of people do as well. What was your opinion when like y'all lost in 2015? Because that was tough.
It was, but I think as a Mets fan personally, I look more on the good of 2015. I mean, obviously those last 5 games were pretty horrendous defense. But we also won the pennant. We came first in the East, and we had a lot of good moments. Wilmer Flores, Daniel Murphy, and it was a really fun. Bad as the end was, it was real. It was the first time in my life, and the only time in my life that the Mets have really been there and been, contending team in the playoffs. So we went to the World, came second in the whole league, and we just like Gary Cohen said, we just didn't know how to lose until those last 5 games, and it was just really fun to watch. As bad as those last 5 games were, I think more on the good side of 2015. I think a lot of Mets fans do.
Yeah, I remember like y'all are struggling like the first 2 months. It was kind of like with the Braves, like is this team going to be very good? And like y'all were good, y'all just couldn't do it at the end. Like
it
happens.
We couldn't put it together. We got Cespedes, big spark. I think near the trade deadline, that's where things really got hot. I think the day before the deadline, Jerry's Familia blew a save in the rain. They did a rain delay. Then we came back at the rain delay, and Justin Upton hit a home run to tie the game, and that was just a heartbreaking loss for Padres. And the team didn't really know if we were going to sell or buy or what we were doing. And we came out and we got Juan Uribe, Kelly Johnson. It looks like, we were going to start buying a little bit. We still need to do more. And people were very, very nervous of what else we were going to do because they were like, we can't just get Juan Uribe and Kelly Johnson. That's not going to help our problems. And then the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the trading deadline, like right on the line, we got Yoenis Cespedes. And people were like, oh my God, like we're actually going to try to do something. We're going to try to turn this thing around. And we did.
And it is so similar with the Braves. Just the only outcome is we won, y'all didn't. But like, I mean, we went out, we got Soler, we got Richard Rodriguez, which at the time our bullpen was okay. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, but we need to get our bullpen better, and we did that, and we got our outfield solved, and here we went.
I don't think people are how impressive the Braves were because y'all won the World Series without your best player. And that's incredible. That's just unbelievable to me. That Acuna out for 90 games or something, and you won the without him. That's just bizarre.
Yeah, and you got to think about this too. We won without Soroka, who is.
Yeah, everybody gets about Mike Soroka. He's a really good pitcher. I like when the Mets. He's a very good pitcher that people. Yeah, he's one of the most underrated players in all of baseball. Everybody never thinks about Mike Soroka, and he's really good.
Yeah, he is brilliant, and I can't wait to see him and Acuna come back. Acuna's been grinding like the last month to come back after the World Series. He's like, I want to come back. I want to do this with my team next year, and that's a great mindset to go with. So yeah, just seeing Acuna coming back next year, it's going to be a great journey as a Braves fan and just for baseball, I feel like.
You guys got to get Freddie back, though.
That's a big thing, yeah. We have to get Freddie back. Like,
everybody says, including me, it's going to be real hard to see him with that Braves uniform on. I don't like how could he not wear a Braves uniform next year?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. And, like, Freddie's my favorite player as well. And it's going to be tough if he doesn't re-sign. But, like, you're going to have to move on and try and get another championship at the end of the day because that's what you do in MLB. MLB is a business.
Exactly. Above everything, it's the business part of the game. The business part of the game is really cruel sometimes. Mets let go, Syndergaard and Conforto's going to sign somewhere else. And the business part of the game is pretty cruel a lot of the time. But, you got to just suck it up, keep moving with it.
Yeah, like, I totally agree with you. Like, you're not going to get all your players back. Like, I know we're not going to get all those 5 players back that we got because we don't need all of them. Because we're going to have Acuna coming back, but, yeah.
Yep.
And,
sometimes to realize, the guys they've watched for 5 or 6 years, to just move on to another team like it's nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, that brings up the next topic is, like, I could see Pache, like, getting another redeemer because Jock Peterson is not going to re-sign with us. He's made that very clear unless he wants to start. Hold up. Unless he wants to start, which we can't offer him a starting spot because we're good and our outfield's awesome. Like, we can't offer him that starting spot for the whole year. And
I completely agree. He doesn't really deserve it, to be honest. I mean, he was a spark plug, just with the pearls and stuff, but I think it was more of his attitude, not more of his play. He was okay, but he's not starting outfielder for the Braves. Absolutely not.
Yeah, like, I agree. And Pache, like, we need to get Pache up here, and he needs to start rolling as soon as he can. So this is the best opportunity we're getting for Pache to come up and see what he can do again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a great fielder. I think he's got a little bit to work on the offensive side, but I think he can. I think he has to figure it out. He can be a definite force in the baseball community and become stars in the game.
Yeah, the 2 things, like, he's really got to work on the most is, like, trying to come through in clutch situations and trying to hit that long ball if he can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move over to the Dodgers and assume they do get Freddie. How do you feel like they're going to do? Because that infield, think about it, that infield gets Freddie Freeman. They already have Max Muncy, Trey Turner, and Justin Turner. That infield may turn into the best infield in baseball. How do you think that's going to go with their team next season? And, like, how do you think they win a World Series even without Freddie Freeman?
I think the Dodgers year in and year out are the scariest team in baseball because they buy and they buy and they buy and they buy some more. That's all they do, and they always leave you one. When are they going to stop? I mean, last year they got Bauer, they have Kershaw, or they don't have Kershaw. That's we should get into that. But they might get Freddie Freeman. They have Max Muncy. They got Chris Taylor back. I mean, they have Trey Turner, for God's sake. I mean, they're just so good, and they have so many pieces, and they have so much cash that they could just buy whatever they want. It's like every guy that goes on the free agent market be a Dodger. They could get anybody they want. It's completely in the realm. It's like, it's video game stuff. When you go on MLB The Show and you put all the best players on one team, it's that kind of stuff. That's what the Dodgers are.
Yeah, we all know, like, even without buying, the Dodgers didn't buy all these great players. They went out, they got these, like, okay players like Muncy and Turner and others, and they turned them into superstars.
Exactly. That's the thing, too, is that they just keep getting guys like Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin. Julio, the guy who won why am I blanking on this? The guy who was the last out of the World Series for them. It's the last out. They just keep bringing up producing talent. If it's money, farm system, guys like Chris Taylor or Max Muncy or Will, for God's sake. I mean, they have enough. Let the rest of the baseball world have some, prospects and some players.
Yeah. All right, moving over to the Yankees. We know, like, they have not been that good lately. Like, they get to the moment and they can't perform. And what do you feel like they're going to do next year if they make some moves?
I don't know, man. I think we all came into this offseason thinking the Yankees are going to get Reyes, Story. They're at least going to be in on them. Seager. He's been asleep. Cashman's been asleep. And I think the team has a really hot potential. They have, Joey Gallo, what he can do. They have Giancarlo Stanton, who won an MVP 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They have Aaron Judge, who's one of the best players in baseball. Gary Sanchez, who can hit home runs, but that's about it. I think we all came into this offseason thinking the Yankees are going to be forced there to get people. They just haven't done it. And I think if they just went after a few really good players, they could really make a run. Because the Yankees organization has good players, they have a good team, but they got to make some moves, and they just haven't done it.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on this. The Rays are that team to beat right now in the AL East. I mean, you've got the Blue Jays, you've got the Red Sox, who, that's a great question to bring up, is, what are the Red Sox going to do? We know they made the ALCS last season, but, I mean, I'm just confused. I don't know what the Red Sox are going to do, because, they're that surprise team.
I'm sorry.
They're that, surprise team right now, I feel like.
I think we were all very confused with the Hunter Renfroe deal in Milwaukee. It was what are they doing? They're giving away Hunter Renfroe, who was not making a lot. And he was one of their best players last year for Jackie Bradley Jr. who hit, 180-something? I mean, what were they doing?
Yeah.
Why were you Hunter Renfroe? You just you just went to the best team in the division in the ALDS. And you just, I don't know what the Red Sox are doing. I don't know if they're rebuilding or buying, or I don't know what the Red Sox are doing. I don't think anybody really does.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just kind of confusion right now for all of us in baseball for what the Red Sox could do. But they still got a great team with Devers and Martinez, and you got Alexander Bogaerts, and you still got a whole lot of great guys. But we're all still confused on, are the Red Sox trying to compete or not?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And they still have Chris Sale. I don't know what he's going to be like next year. Great. They have Tanner Houck, who I thought was a really good player last year, and I think he can really become really good. They have Garrett Whitlock, another guy who can become a really good pitcher. And they, I don't know what they're thinking. They got to figure it out. They get a few pieces, like the other teams we've talked about, they can be a contender.
Yeah, for sure. One team I want to bring up is the Houston Astros. We all know their backstory, but let's focus on the current. What do you think they can do next year? I mean, they're probably going to lose Correa. I think that's obvious to this point. But what do you think they can still do without Correa? Is the Astros still the team to beat for the AL West?
I think absolutely the Astros are still a team to beat. The Astros, they had all those, they had a lot on their back last year to prove. So we can do this without, and they went to the dang World Series. And they still have a great team with Alex Bregman and Yuli Gurriel, and, they can still sign a guy like, Story, and they still have Verlander, and they still do have a really good team, and they can prove that they can go without trash cans or whatever. They have prospects, and they have a lot of good players on that team, and I think they're still the team to beat, and I think they're going to, be in the postseason again next year for the whatever time in a row, and they're going to make another run.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about this. One thing I haven't been talking about is the Astros signing story, but that could definitely be a opportunity for the Astros to get a shortstop, not on the same level as Correa, but not keep that position empty, and they're probably not going to do that.
Yeah, I know. I don't think Correa's coming back. I don't know where he's going. It's like the Cubs are very interested in him, but Yankees should throw the bag at him.
Yeah, one thing I could see happening, it just fits so well, is the Cardinals. They could go after shortstop unless they want to give DeYoung another opportunity, but we've seen they've given him a lot of opportunities and he hasn't been able to perform. So yeah, the Cardinals could be in for Correa soon. Maybe not right now, but maybe at some point when they realize.
Cardinals are also in the mix for Story, playing the same infield as Arenado again. I think that'd be really cool to see. And DeYoung, unless he's playing against the Mets, don't play him. He's just not good.
Yeah.
They got Emmanuel Sosa there next year because he just was cut. The guy's really just not. Strikes out way too much. Doesn't play good shortstop at all. They need to figure it out with him. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I think they should really go after even a decent shortstop this offseason.
Yeah. One last question I got, because we kind of like to make this 30 minutes around here in Hayden Nation. But last question I got is, do you play baseball?
I do. I started Baseball Academy. I'm first baseman, and I'm trying to. Got some things I have to work on. I'm a right-handed hitter. I like to think of myself as a little bit of a power hitter, but I'm trying to work on hitting singles to the opposite field. And
Yeah. What's your favorite part about playing the game that you love, and just what is the tip you have for young baseball players trying to make their goals happen? I know you're trying to as well.
That's a great question. I think just working hard. Get to the gym, man. I go to the gym every day and try to get really good. I've been really trying to cut out sugar. I think it's just get and work hard, keep practicing. I think that's what everybody says, but it's the truth, and that's why everybody does it, because you got to work hard, you got to get fast, you got to get strong, and that's going to put you at the next level of baseball.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, that's the one thing you have to do is work hard and make some sacrifices for yourself. Like when you play this game, and if you want to be in the game, like you have to put in that extra work. You have to change your food plan around a little bit to play the game you love. And with playing this game comes consequences like that.
Yeah, absolutely. This game's growing, and I think I want to say another tip is that you got to stay. You got to just keep working. You got to not get mad because this game is going to crush you. It's a game of failure. You're going to succeed 3 out of 10 times if you're good, and you got to just not rage like a lot of people do. Very bad and throw your helmet because coaches look at that stuff and they don't like it. This game's going to beat you. Strike out, you're going to make errors. It's just how it is. Just the game of baseball. Head up, and I think we all. That's how we go for just the human race in general. Just keep your head up and do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna end this, but if you want to stay on and we can talk about content and just whatever, then feel free to. To Hayden Nation, Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. Gotta enjoy it. And let's get back to 2022 and then the baseball season ahead, because spring training is going to be really exciting, and what we're looking forward to is going to be really exciting. Anything you want to say on the way out, or to the?
Go follow my TikTok, baseball at time 28. I'm gonna be making a lot of content on there, just consistently put content, at least 4 videos a week. I try, and
Yeah.
Follow me on.
Go follow him on TikTok. I'll put the name to his TikTok and Instagram in the description down below. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Again, Merry Christmas to Hey Nation and you in general. And, yeah, I can't wait till this next season ahead of us. It's going to be exciting. All right. Peace out, guys.